You go to the gym, man, you just see everybody looking at their phone like they're like it drives me fucking nuts at the gym, man. I'm like, how are you even getting a goddamn workout in?
That's ironic. They're avoiding doing the thing that would get them dopamine by getting dopamine.
There's 3 minutes.
Whereas
cheaply.
if they just lifted the weights and shut the fuck up and did it, and then they think, I'm going to die. I don't want to do this. I only have 50 more sets to go. I only have 2 hours to go. Then after the hour mark, I only have an hour to go. It's like, I'm seeing colors. What's happening with my left leg? Why doesn't it move? And then eventually you're done with the workout and you feel so proud of yourself because you didn't bitch out, even though you do it every day. It's like every day is spiritual. You're like, how did I get through this?
Yeah.
How the fuck did I get through this? How did I beat yesterday the logbook? How the fuck did I do this?
Hey there, welcome everyone. This is Gonzalo Herrera with Rice 41. And yet again today, because I am being lazy, I will ask my buddy, brother from another mother, Josh, to do the intros of our panel.
I was just thinking about that this afternoon.
I'm so ready for another one.
Yeah, well,
Here we
it's
go.
going to be a short one. I'm your bleep head with a heart of gold, Joshua RN. We've got Sean, the horse transitioner, molecular. We've got the man with more titles than patience, Dr. Todd.
Good.
I like that.
We got Paul. No one's getting jacked off of peanut butter sandwiches, Barnett.
That's so true. And he's right.
I mean, I might try that test. That sounds fun. I just hate peanut butter. Your host and the spicy kernel of our biochemistry bucket, a small arms having expert, Gonzalo Herrera.
Nice. I like the spicy kernel thing. Gentlemen, everybody good? Everybody having a good time today? Nice.
Well.
Nice. So a couple of things that popped into my head, like I was telling you guys earlier before the show. It's one of my coworkers had all kinds of weird dopamine questions. He says he wants to reset his dopamine or something. So I figured I'd throw it out here and we can start talking. Apparently, so here's his issue. He is absolutely addicted to doom scrolling. Like from the moment he wakes up, it's like his thing. And he's like,
Well, I've got a solution.
There we go. Let's do it.
12 milligrams of red.
Stop doom scrolling.
You wake up when first thing you wake up in the morning, you set a timer and you just stare at a wall for 20 minutes.
Wow,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at
As an Eagle
Wait.
Scout, I would just say go to the woods without your phone.
That works too. But if you don't have that, if you can't do that, just go stare at a wall.
Yeah.
You might have to start with 5 because it's tough to.
I like the Pomodoro.
You got to work up to it.
Yeah.
It's like progressive overload for like resensitizing your dopamine.
Wait, you got to be kidding me. This is not a real thing because I can
I do
stare
it
at
every
a wall.
morning. I swear to God.
I mean that this is not hard. Like you could stare at a wall and think about shit you're going to do that day and easily lose 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're
Some
a normal
people
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
I
been
stare at
called normal
walls
before,
frequently.
but I'll take it.
Paul, you stare at walls frequently? Just
I miss
No,
what
because
Paul said.
people
Give the
are
brain a
so
break.
like,
Yeah.
they're so like, they're dopamine addicted. They're like little rats in a cage, like looking for the glucose.
I spent the entirety of elementary school staring at walls.
Yeah.
called Ritalin.
So is it one of those things that because dopamine is the chase hormone, I guess, or whatever, like people like mistake the dopamine for the activity when the dopamine is the reward for the activity? Is that
No,
right?
dopamine-
Yeah, because I mean,
No.
we've replaced a lot of our like dopamine reward we get from doing something difficult or satisfactory with, internet porn or doom scrolling or, whatever it is.
Hey, you leave my internet porn alone.
I was gonna say,
Well, a little bit's okay, but like not,
Molinari.
some of these people are like, basically. So anyways, that's the way that I see it is if you give yourself little rewards all day that aren't like real, and you just, basically it stops you from doing the things you're supposed to be doing in life, like feeling pleasure from doing the things that are hard.
Gotcha.
You know? It's like
Gotcha.
food is the same way. That's why bodybuilding is so cool, is because you're basically ignoring that primal urge to like seek dopamine. I think that's really good way to reset it.
I enjoy doing, I don't know about you guys. Well, I mean, you guys clearly do. You're all wired the same way, but I like doing hard things that require, um, I don't know, absence from things. I don't know. Like I like challenging myself to do difficult shit.
Deprivation.
And I think it's not really like, you just practice at it. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I took a walk on purpose with no headphones, no earbuds, no nothing. Just me and 5 a.m, sun rising and walking. And it was a revelation. Like 20 minutes later, you go home and you're like, wow, that felt really fucking good. And there's no reason why it should, but it did.
Yeah, because everything we do is like, you know, on the phone, cerebral, bzz, 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 all day. You know, it's like, you got to just take some time to be inside your own head. You know, people are like uncomfortable being with themselves.
That's
you know,
wild. I spend almost 8 hours a day just talking to myself.
Why does that not surprise me, Todd?
But Todd, you realize you're the outlier here, right? Like everybody, like people don't do that. Like people are scared of themselves.
I mean, make your own arguments.
You can see it at the gym. You go to the gym, man. You just see everybody looking at their phone. Like it drives me fucking nuts at the gym, man. I'm like, how are you even getting a goddamn workout in?
That's ironic. They're avoiding doing the thing that would get them dopamine by getting dopamine.
There's 3 minutes.
Whereas if they just lifted the weights and shut the fuck up and did it, and then they think, I'm going to die. I don't want to do this. I only have 50 more sets to go. I only have 2 hours to go. Then after the hour mark, I only have an hour to go. It's like, I'm seeing colors. What's happening with my left leg? Why doesn't it move? And then eventually you're done with the workout and you feel so proud of yourself because you didn't bitch out, even though you do it every day. It's like every day is spiritual. You're like, how did I get through this? Yeah. How the fuck did I get through this? How did I beat yesterday the logbook? How the fuck did I do this? And then you're so happy when you leave the gym.
That is so true. That is so true. Like, I wish I could. This is one of those things about subjectivity. I wish that you could like plug a chip into your brain, experience something, and then give that chip to somebody so they could feel it, so they could understand it. You know,
arthritis.
That's the cool thing about bodybuilding is all of bodybuilding is based on delaying gratification. And that's why bodybuilders are good at business and other things like that, is because we get used to delaying gratification. Like muscle growth happens slowly. The diet, you know, it's every single day. You just have to do the same thing. The workouts, it's the same way. It's you go in every single day, you just do it. You delay gratification over and over and over again. And then you see the result. And that teaches you that like you have control over your life. You know, you can change something. And then when you realize that, you go, oh, wow, I can apply this to anywhere else I want it to, you know, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's people who don't know they have control over their life.
Vast majority.
The vast majority
I'd say it's most people.
Yes.
Well, who controls their life?
Easy.
If not them, their wife?
Well, nobody.
Yeah. It's economic circumstances, the government, people that have wronged them. Yeah, essentially.
So it's extroverted thinking, basically, rather than intro locus of control.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, or maybe like
that's a good way to put it too, Todd. Is like it shifts your locus of control from external to internal.
Yeah, like most people are like, things happen to me rather than I make things happen.
Yeah, everything that bad happens to me is my fault. I created these consequences. I said that to that person, which resulted in this chain of events getting kicked in the ass by this circumstance. I'm the one who just read my mail from 2024, and I'm like, oh, I'm in collections for this. I'm in collections for this. That's my fault. It's not their fault for putting me in collections. It's my fault I didn't open my mail for 2 fucking years.
Is that true? Why do you think most people blame outside people on all their problems? The government, everything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's an easy answer.
Why
right?
did you wait?
If you're not responsible,
your mail?
what could you do about it?
Well, I think if you believe that everything's preordained, that God created this and that, and he decides everything, and you learn that in church as a child, then you basically have no free will, and God already picked everything for you in advance. Whereas if you don't believe in God, you're like, I got to do a good job and make heaven a place on earth because I'm going to hell when I die, or I'm not going to exist. And I need to enjoy this world because this is the only one I get to be on. So I better get out of bed and actually fucking start earning some shit or accomplishing something.
But you replace God with economic circumstances or
Whatever.
my
That's some
father
serious Todd
or my
logic there.
mother or, you know, the people that have wronged me. You know, it's the same thing, right? Like I used to do it, you know, I remember those days, but you know, you learn and you live and you do things and you realize you can change your life.
I had a very different childhood growing up, and I think because I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I grew up in Appalachia, man, like in the fucking poorest part of the country. And I mean, we literally didn't have TV growing up. It was like living in 1890.
Wasn't it 1890 though?
It might have
Did you
been,
have
according to my
electricity?
kids. Yeah, we had electricity.
Running water?
When I was a kid, my parents, the first house we had an outhouse. We did not have.
Shit.
Shit. Yeah, I think I was about 6, 7 years old when we got an indoor bathroom put in.
Wow. So
yes.
for real, this is real.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
1895, guys.
But you didn't know any different, man. Like it was just like that was just how.
Oh, so you didn't have comparison as the thief of joy.
No. So, but we lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But we lived out in the middle of nowhere, so I spent a lot of time outside, outdoors, in the woods, doing other things, and I think that like you didn't have a choice but to find ways to.
Did you chop wood as a kid?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Why do you think I got
love
these
that
shoulders?
shit. Oh, right, that's right. Your dad owes you for that surgery, right?
Yeah, my dad's the reason why it was in the winter. It was chopping wood. In the summer, it was stacking hay bales. That's what.
Dang, you would have been a bodybuilder regardless without even training.
Strong man for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Shit.
But I think we all had a moment. Like even then, like I didn't realize I had control over my life. I think a lot of times people have this revelation, at least successful people at some point, that they have this control over the life. And I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hear what your point was, but I remember distinctly, reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography. It was called On Bodybuilding, I think was the name of it. I was in 8th grade because I was just fascinated with him. I saw Terminator at the movie theater.
Was anyone not fascinated with Arnold Schwarzenegger when they were a kid? I was.
No. That dude was a god.
Sean?
I'm still fascinated with him. Every time I see him, I'm like starstruck.
Yeah.
I
you probably see him a lot. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
I read his book and I was just like, I read it because I wanted to learn how to get jacked like him. But the part that stuck out to me, he had an entire section on mindset, like how to control that voice in your head and how to take control of things and like basically will shit into existence through hard work. And I had never had occurred to me that I had control over my circumstance. I thought just the way life was just the way it was. And I started applying that principle and I noticed like things started getting a lot better and I'm like, holy shit, this fucking works.
Yeah.
You just get a taste of it too. You just get a taste of it and then you're like, oh, I can keep doing that, you know?
And then I started lifting weights and I noticed my body changed. I was a musician. I started practicing more and this crazy thing happened. When you practice more, you get better.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You know, for me, it was I think the moment it crystallized was when I applied for my art school, which is the degree I have in comic books. Just because this school only takes about 100, 110 students a year. You have to send in your portfolio and they have a panel of like 10 people who are staffed there, who are professionals in the field. And they decide if you're good enough to go in and go. Before that moment, before I decided to try out for that, my life was already prearranged by my parents. I was going to be a lawyer and make money and marry a Puerto Rican girl and have 3.2 kids and a dog and a house and a fence. And that was it.
Were they?
That's it. So what?
Gonzo, you're way too nice to be a lawyer.
Okay,
I could not imagine.
I can tell you
you don't have the killer
why I'm
instinct.
not. Yeah. Yeah. So the reason I'm not a lawyer, just for the record, because I did get a degree in pre-law, was this. I was in a pre-law class, and we were arguing the facts of a case of some sort. And I found myself saying to the teacher, like, well, okay, so that's the legal result, but that's not fair. And my teacher looked at me, said, stop right now. Nothing about this class is about fairness. This is about successful application of the law the way you want it to come out, regardless of fairness. And I was
Ugh.
like, fuck that. I can't do this. I can't
Oh
do this.
God.
I'm like, I cannot. I don't have that mindset. I do not. So
Bad faith argument in a debate.
just
like
to
you-
win it.
Like, I make sure to learn the counter arguments to everything I believe so that when someone challenges me, I already have the algorithm planned out on defeating them. But
You have a backup. Yeah.
I do that for both sides so that I truly believe my case. If I find my case is faulty, then I just abandon it.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you guys have that realization too that your fate was in your own hands? I mean,
When I was in high school, I read The Fountainhead. I read the Satanic Bible.
Ayn Rand
I read
is a deep
Yeah.
thing for high school.
yeah. I read Ayn Rand, The Prince by Machiavelli, and the Satanic Bible.
nice.
And
Okay.
right in a row.
That's
And that
dangerous
basic-
reading for a high school kid. Misapplication of that could go
Yeah.
south very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's where you
Was
learn.
Catcher
that
in
you
the
have
Rye
control-
in that list? Hang on.
No, I did read Catcher in the Rye,
No?
actually, but I learned that in middle school. Yeah, so
yeah. Same.
Holden Caulfield, it's such a good Manchurian Candidate tool. But the point is, like, the Satanic Bible seems irrelevant, but it is where they explain the idea of applying your will to reality and bending it. They reference Aleister Crowley, and that's
Yes.
really what I should have read, but that's not how you find information in the 90s. You read a book, and then that turns you onto another book. You don't have a search engine to look up to tell you what you're supposed to read.
I mean, Aleister Crowley, whole thing. What is it? As long as it hurts no one else, I am my own law, something like that.
That-
I'm
exactly.
paraphrasing.
He's basically, the will is the whole of the law.
There
is-
it is.
That's
it.
the Aleister Crowley mantra.
He was the original anarcho-capitalist.
Right. Well, the idea is simply you oppose your will on reality and bend it to your will. Kind of like they cover it in a lot of different stuff. Eschatology, I think, might be the proper word that's used for that. Is this issue that there's a collective subconscious, all reality is based off this collective subconscious, and that there are people who believe things because they're sheep, and that if you can convince enough sheep to believe what you want them to, reality will actually bend to fit your narrative over time. And that's, I think, the relativism that we see a lot behind a lot of the more modern philosophies out of universities, is if we can change the zeitgeist of the culture, that in 20, 30 years, everything will be
You
different.
change reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a very sociological way of looking at it, whereas I'm looking more at a metaphysical way about it, where, like, if I concentrate really hard and pray that inside this cabinet is my car keys when I can't find them, and then I open it and they're there, that shit worked. Like that,
You
and that's
manifested
not
that
what
into
we
reality.
mean about imposing your will on reality and like having control of your life. But that's the extreme example of having control of your life. Then if you roll it back, it's kind of like, I want this girl to like me. So like, I'm going to try really hard to get her to like me, and it works. Whereas the person who doesn't think they have agency and has no internal locus of control is like, this girl doesn't like me because this is wrong with me. Boo hoo hoo. And they hit themselves in a hammer in the face to see if their face gets prettier, you know.
I like that. The
Hey, don't come out the
Looksmaxxers
Looksmaxxers, Todd. Come on.
My
Well,
face
that'd
already
be
looks
good.
like it was hit with a hammer. I don't need to do that.
We don't need any extra help there.
I
do
don't
we?
need any extra help. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I started lifting weights.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Make
Distract
them
him from the face.
Yeah. Got to work with what we have, gentlemen. We got to work with what we have.
Or you could bash your
So-
face with a hammer. I mean,
Yep.
or you could just not
Just-
work with it.
I'm pretty damn
It
handsome
just-
in the face. I got no complaints.
It's just so, it just seems like so extreme to me, the whole Looksmaxxing thing. Like, as Chris explained to me and all
I
that.
mean, bodybuilding
It's
is pretty extreme as well. It's
I was
exactly.
just thinking, like, dude, bodybuilding is
fair.
more extreme than Looksmaxxing.
I think so too. Yes.
Bodybuilding's
Oh, yeah.
Looksmaxxing from the neck down.
Okay,
Looksmaxxing is
what's
bodybuilding
the
from the
death
neck
rate of
up.
I had a-
Looksmaxxing?
Yeah.
I had a kid on my guy on my podcast, really smart guy, Matt, and he was at I think 14, 15, running 50 units of growth hormone to get taller.
Fuck. Okay.
That'll work.
Isn't that crazy?
Was he crashing his estrogen?
Was he
too, so
running
that
an
it closes
anti-estrogen?
plates? Yeah.
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 Yeah, the whole time, I believe. Yeah. And he got taller. It worked, apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it does.
I don't know, like, if there's any control there, but, pretty interesting.
I mean, that's what we do.
I
with
know
kids. They
my
need to
middle
grow.
kid had to get the HGH therapy when he was like 13, 14, because he was like 5'1" and hadn't grown for like a year, and his plates hadn't fused yet. So they went
Yeah,
ahead
you're
and
like
did
at the pharmacy, like, I think I just lost it. I don't know. I lost the
Not pharmacy,
medication. Can I get another one?
No, at the time I knew nothing of this.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is like he's 20 now. This is a long time ago.
I think it's
So-
funny that they leveraged the GH, but they didn't leverage the anti-estrogens, so the growth plates don't even fuse.
Yeah, as
They
far as
should,
I know,
yeah.
it's just GH. There's a big
Yeah.
pen.
But
Every
you
day.
see what?
I think
But
if you're
you see my point. Your runway is until the growth plates fuse. So why not extend the runway?
Yeah, for
right,
sure.
if
And
you were
just redo-
modifying it, that's what you would do. Like if you're doing it to make your kid taller, yes. But if you're doing it medically, you just want them to grow their normal rate, and you don't want to play with too many systems.
Yeah, and he was very deficient in growth hormone. Like they tested for sure. Like
yeah,
he was
you
in the
don't- those
bottom
prescriptions are hard
5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I have
and
a
hard to
feeling-
pay for, I guess.
I think that most boys at that age have more estrogen than they need. Hence the prepubertal gyno and all that stuff. That
Oh my God, I had
Just-
gyno so bad when I was a teenager.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was bad. Me too. I mean, I think that's where I grew most of it. I mean, we all have that realization when we start bodybuilding and get more like we start understanding the way we look more, and then we realize, oh, like that huge lump is there, and it's probably not related to gear a lot of the time. It's always
Yeah.
related to
I had
adolescence.
Mine
to
was
go to
just
gyno.
fat.
Yeah, like I say, yeah.
But yeah, I developed mine when I was a teenager. I remember going to the doctor. I told my parents, and I thought that my mom panicked and thought I had breast cancer or some shit. And my doctor was just like,
happens.
yeah, it's normal. Don't worry about it. And I'm like,
it's normal. Yeah, or we could treat it and
Right.
you'll be taller. In your case, it wasn't necessary. But
Well,
there's
that's
a
what
lot
I
of
said,
people.
I was already 6'2" at the time.
Jesus.
Shit.
Wow.
I don't know. You
I-
probably need estrogen to some degree for like neurological
I'm
development.
not
I'm just
suggesting
making.
wipe it the fuck out. I'm just saying you can
Yeah,
just put a dent in it and get an inch or two taller and not have gyno.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with running growth. I mean, I'm not saying anyone should, but if my
There was-
kids asked me, I'd be
there
like,
was
do what you
that-
want.
I don't know how true it was, but there was that rumor that that's what they did with LeBron James.
Really?
Anti-estrogens.
Anti-estrogens and growth hormone when he was in middle school.
I mean,
Well, that would have.
good for
That's.
them.
I'm proud of his parents for having some courage and putting their kid first, not just obeying to society's fears.
Yeah, no,
Well, shit.
who knows how real that was, but that was a rumor that was I heard flying
he did go
around.
bald very quickly. So
And growth
Yeah,
hormone
but
is
that
like
could
so
be-
innocuous. It's not like you're
Very
giving
different.
your kids.
Did you see him when he was a
anabolics.
teenager? He looked like a fucking man.
when I
Did
first
he?
heard about him, I was like, this is ridiculous. No junior is going to come out and be the number one pick in the draft. And I saw him play as a junior. I was like, okay, he's the number one pick in the draft of the NBA. And he's probably the best player that's going to come out for years. And he was and still is.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
mean,
player.
you look like a grown ass man in the 8th grade.
Oh, yeah, he looked like a grown ass man. Now he looks like a grown ass man who ate a grown ass man.
He's a large individual, that's for sure. But if that is true, the fact that his parents even knew
We
to
don't know
do
who
that
his
with the
dad is.
estrogen and all
He's
that,
got a mom.
that's-
That's what I
Well,
recall.
I mean, it could have been some agent got in there when saw this talented kid and was like,
Yeah, that's what I wonder about. 'cause those
Instead of
guys-
being
Maybe we can
6'3", let's be
influence
6'8".
That's
Yeah.
who makes the money in that industry. It's the agents. They have all those clients with 20 and 30%, and they don't have to spend.
You
any
know
money.
what? That makes me change my mind, Guy. Remember we talked about the time machine on the Forbidden episode? I would
Yeah.
go back in time and give me some anti-estrogens and some growth hormone when I was 14. I was just like, yeah, dude, you're going to be a lot less of a bitch this way. And then then I'd just disappear without answering any questions. Yeah. Like not give any advice because I know I'd fuck up the timeline too much and I wouldn't end up who I am. So I wouldn't be able to go back in time and give it to myself.
This was him in the 8th grade.
Yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
man.
God.
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
That's the 8th grade?
8th grade. How many 8th
That's
graders look like
he's an
that?
adult man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, he's like one of those kids that like hit puberty immediately and just became 45 years old.
Do you think he was on anabolics too?
No,
I mean, what do you think that looks like?
I don't think he was.
Yeah, his face looks aged.
I know.
Like
His face looks adult.
No, I've met natural cats like that, but they were like college athletes who were like sprinters and shit. They weren't 6'8",
but
Isn't
that's
that
that look, is that aged look, right? That anabolics give you, kind of.
well, that's just a lot of energy.
Like they make you
over time.
a
So
man.
he grew up to be a man. Like that's what he's gonna look like.
Well, is aged or mature the right word?
Matured is the right word. He doesn't look old there yet, but yeah. And he does get whatever alopecia fairly shortly into his career, and then he gets the surgery, and when he takes his whatever off, you can see the scars because he got the shitty one for some reason.
Yeah. It didn't go to Turkey to get that shit done. Oh, well.
The interesting thing is the face aging goes away when you get off the higher doses.
You know that means it's not aging, right?
Yeah, it's like
a
water retention.
Is that what it is? Like,
You
what's the
get a fat
mechanism?
boy.
How does it happen?
I
You
think
don't
it's
have
water
DNA
retention.
damage reverse itself. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like water retention and nitrogen retention in the muscles around the face. Makes you
It's
look
And then
funny
you get that.
A lot of
Larry
chewing,
Wills-
a lot of
Larry
chewing
Wills
for
did that.
bulking. So you know,
He was like, this is how bad I looked on steroids. This is how much younger I look without it. And I was like, wait a minute. Then you didn't age. Like, because you can't reverse aging by just not taking the drug. If it was really permanently altered, it doesn't get unpermanently altered. That's not permanent then. Aging
Yeah, it
is
just makes you
permanent.
look older. It doesn't
Yeah.
age you like no.
Yeah, it's not like a permanent effect. Like, your
Well,
magic.
that's
book
what
and
people
you're
were
older.
telling me for the past couple years. The reason why your face looks like shit is because of all the Masteron you did. I was like, yes, because Masteron exclusively damages the face.
that's the
but
one
isn't
that bloats
anabolic.
you, right? Masteron is
Yeah.
known for its bloating effects, right?
Todd,
Right.
we should get you in touch with like a Looksmaxxer and have you come down to TRT and see like how pretty we could make you, just to prove everybody wrong.
I think Masteron, I don't know what it does. Like for me, like I notice when I'm on contest prep, it does like make my face like withered.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the lack of water, like how it affects
Dries
water
you out.
retention, dries you out. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Like
still
when-
can't figure out what the hell it's doing. Me and Todd have been going back and forth. on
I'm
this
only
for a
running
while.
100 a day right now. So it's like, I might as well not even be on it.
Only 100 a day.
Yeah. It's like a baby dose of Masteron.
Only.
We did some calculations on the 3-alpha HSD metabolite, and we thought that's what was blocking the estrogen signaling, but there isn't enough of it, at least from our calculations, to like do anything to outcompete.
It'd be like
estrogen at the
10%
receptor.
of it would get converted through that because the 2'-methyl group would be steric hindrance for 3-alpha
Yeah,
HSD. So
exactly.
you'd have
So
a
it's like-
tiny fraction of that product.
I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out what's going on. And the squelching doesn't make sense because it doesn't bind hard enough to the androgen receptor. So what are we left with here?
The only possible explanation is that it's an a non-competitive allosteric inhibitor on the estrogen alpha receptor, which is so far-fetched. It's probably this. Okay, like if you were to look at estrogen hydration or water, right, and you were to take the numerator, which is going to be estrogen, and then divided by the denominator, which is an androgen, and you add 1,000 milligrams to that denominator, the ratio, the product goes down, even though the numerator doesn't. It doesn't reduce the estrogen. You just have so much more signal to the androgen receptor that it's as if it's less estrogen, the balance. It's like you got a seesaw with one kid sitting on the estrogen side and one side sitting on the dry side. And then another kid runs up and sits on the dry side. It doesn't make the estrogen kid lighter. It just weighs down that side of the seesaw.
I just don't know what to make of the drying effect, because we could say that the estrogen effect is like placebo potentially, like we were talking about, Todd. I just don't know how to put that into the drying effect, because that's not really subjective.
That's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the DH, let's say androgens cause water loss from under the skin, and estrogens cause water retention under the skin. So we don't subtract estrogen, we just added androgen. So it's going to drag the water from the skin to the muscle.
Yeah. I mean, Tren kind of does that, to be fair. But that could be through a few different mechanisms. So I don't know. It's confusing me now, because I can't figure it out. I have to do a deep dive into it actually.
I've never seen water changes in me with Masteron, whether it's 100, 200, 300, 400 a day. But I know Paul says he does. John Jewett says he does.
Well,
I
it's
know
significant when
Nathan
I add it
does.
in.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's well known for drying out most people.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean there has to be a genetic component in there too, right?
Well, some people more receptive than others, that kind of thing.
Isn't it aldosterone neutral?
That's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought it was estrogen.
that's why I'm
and
so confused
aldosterone
about
neutral.
this. It
It
can
doesn't
only
make
be the
sense.
estrogen. It can only be the estrogen. It's like, I don't know. I don't know
Has
what to
anyone
make of
tested
it.
that? Like, I don't want to take Masteron because of how it affects me, but you've tested it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what it is somebody tested whether it was going to bind to the estrogen alpha receptor, and it does not. So it's not a competitive estrogen alpha receptor antagonist. It's not an AI either. It doesn't lower the estrogen, but it lowers the effect of the estrogen in the so far as the water retention, which would imply maybe it has an anti-aldosterone effect, and that's how it's doing it. Maybe it's not out. It might be actually the opposite of the other anabolics, where they stimulate the aldosterone receptor. This one might antagonize it.
That would make it even more healthy.
Right. It's a estrogen. Normal testosterone has a 60% homology with the aldosterone receptor. So it's very strong. And there's a product it makes that due to 11 oxy-decarboxylase or something is inhibited, causing cortisol production to go down. So the 11-deoxycorticosterone is a higher mineralocorticoid than even the aldosterone. That's upregulated. Perhaps in Masteron, that enzyme is not deactivated. More of the cortisol is produced and less of the 11-deoxycorticosterone is made. And so it's less water retentive than testosterone.
That's a thought. Right there.
I just doubled my Masteron dose. Was it 2 weeks ago? And immediately I'm up like peeing 3 times a night. And I'm not talking about like the swollen prostate, barely peeing. I'm talking about sitting there like good
So
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And obviously estrogen inhibition wouldn't cause increased urination, but aldosterone inhibition would.
Yeah, I mean maybe. You guys tell me, you're smarter than me on this shit. I just know I'm peeing more.
Paul's here to just take notes. And
No, Todd's right. It could be happening. I don't know.
Paul.
I mean, I feel like we could solve a lot of this if we just knew which metabolites it made and what quantities.
But
there's no good studies.
If people are subjectively saying, I am getting dried out, and they're also saying I'm peeing a lot, there's no reason to conclude that has anything to do with estrogen if estrogen isn't going down. Because we're talking about the kidney and water.
It never
not
goes
estrogen.
down. So this leads to the conclusion that maybe it is neutral with estrogen signaling.
That was my conclusion 3 years ago. Yeah, but people don't always agree with me about that.
Hey, Paul, how's your blood pressure with the increased peeing? Has it gone down at all? Is it about the same?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
I mean, my blood pressure always gets low in contest prep. Usually I end up having to drop my BP meds.
Which show are you doing?
I don't know, man. I may or may not do one.
I'm doing two. You better do one.
I was targeting Masters Worlds, but I mean, it's 6 weeks out from Sunday. I don't think I'd be ready by then.
Your glutes in?
No, they're not in. And the thing is like reason why I don't want to compete, like I'm questioning whether to compete because I'm already at what my stage weight was the last time, and I'm not even close to being ready.
Oh, so you're gonna come in smaller if you do come in. So we got to put another 20 pounds in the off season and come down more.
Well, I from that surgery, I mean, I couldn't train my upper body for like 6-7 months. So
Right.
I definitely lost upper body size. I grew my legs, but my upper body's definitely smaller. I needed to grow my legs, but I guess I could always do classic because come down and do classic.
You do have a
I'm-
classic physique shape.
I'm not sure what my cutoff is. It depends on where they height me. It's either 235 or 242.
Jesus. How tall are you?
I'm
It's
just
1 3/4, right?
He's
yeah,
very
just a hair
tall,
under 6'2".
Sean.
Just wait, you're just
Very
over
tall.
6'2"?
Under.
Just a hair under.
Oh, then you're gonna be heighted at 6'2",
If
up to and including 6'2".
Yeah, he's under.
yeah, which would be 242 would be the cutoff.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be less than that. You might, if you're lucky and you work hard enough at it, you can figure out a way to make yourself taller enough to get all up to 252, but I don't think it's relevant, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was 252 today. I weighed in 248 at my last show.
Yeah. Then you definitely are, if your glutes aren't in, you're definitely going to be under 242 by the time you're stage ready. So that's totally classic.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'll just do classic. I don't know. We'll see. Or I may not do anything at all.
Classic, man.
I mean,
you're
it's
still doing
over
the
50
diet, you're still gonna
classic.
get the benefits, the rebound afterwards, if you want it.
I
you
don't
know?
even care about that anymore. It's not like I'm not trying to grow at this point.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I just don't want to go out there and embarrass myself. I don't want to look worse than I did. I don't like the idea of looking worse than I did the last time.
Well, I mean, you won an overall. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's going to be a lot of pressure if you put on yourself to outdo your younger self pre-surgery. It's kind of like, why not just be the best you can be right now and get your pro debut codified, and then you can beat that pro look next time.
Yeah. I go back and forth whether or not I want to put my body through. I'm also not running nearly as much PEDs as I was the last time either.
Okay.
Are you
there's
going
that.
to do trend into the show and all that? Are you planning
I
on
don't do
doing that?
trend.
Yeah,
I haven't done trend in years.
I don't think you should crash for 6 weeks though either. So
No, I'm not. With Justin, I had pushed the gas pedal down on my diet, and then I lost 7 pounds last week. I'm like, dude, that's too much, man, in 1 week. I'm like, I just look worse. So like, let's put some food
Wait, what
back
did
in.
you do? What? Just cut your calories and up your cardio, or just cut calories?
Cut my calories. I mean, I was down to like 200 grams of carbs a day, which is low for me.
Pretty low.
yeah.
You usually crash your E2 into the show, Paul?
Yeah, I smashed it the last 2 weeks.
Just skip
Have you
that.
tried just using a diuretic instead?
I do both.
Do both. Okay. Yeah.
Hit it from every angle.
I usually smash my E2 the last 2 weeks, and like 10 days, I'll take 2.5 letrozole the last week, and then I'll run 25 to 50 mgs of
Aromas
Winstrol?
What's the
Hydrochlorothiazide.
no, not
Aldactone.
hydrochlorothiazide. Aldactone. Yeah, I'll run
Okay.
that for like last 3 days going into the show.
Well, that's classic. Most people don't do that anymore. They use the triamterene from the diazide, but the aldactone 25 milligrams for the last 3 days is a smarter move because you're blocking the aldosterone receptor.
Yeah,
other thing is
that's my thought process.
Yeah.
That's what when I worked with AJ, that's what he does.
Yeah. And that's what I noticed. I used that in 2009, 2010, and it worked pretty good. I did 25 milligrams of aldactone in the morning, and then I would do another 6 to 12 milligrams of hydrochlorothiazide for like the 3 days before the show. And then that was all I had to do.
That's exactly how he did it. He would run the 25 of the aldactone 3 days out. He would take all the injectables out a week out and put 200 mgs of Winstrol in the last week.
Yeah.
And then if you need it to dry out a little bit more, just a little bit of hydrochlorothiazide the last day or two.
When I tried his 200, it melted down. And for the previous 15 years, I used 50 milligrams of Winstrol, and I had good results with that. But for the North American, me and Justin used 100 milligrams of Winstrol the last.
I mean, the 200 worked really well for me. It worked really well.
I think that's a sweet spot is like up around 200. That's
what
when you
I was just saying psychologically, I couldn't handle 200.
Oh yeah.
It's too much stimulus.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed, the only thing it did to me is it fucking made my joints hurt like hell. But other than that, I didn't notice any psychologically, I felt pretty good going into that show, but I didn't run any trend either.
Yeah, you don't have an issue with trend, Todd, do you? Into the shows?
I did no, because I was already running 200 tren a day. And then we added in 100 Winstrol a day. I went from 100 tren and 50 Winstrol a day to 200 tren and 100 Winstrol a day. And then every day I added 10 more Halo.
Todd,
So by the
You're my hero.
what?
I can always tell when Todd's on trend. I can see the shift in his content on social media.
Wow. I'm using Tren and Athate now. It's a lot smoother. I found that what really sets me off, other than caffeine, is the orals. Even 25 milligrams of Anavar on the way to the gym now, I can see that I'm getting more aggressive or more animated.
Yeah, I'm
So as long as
running right now. I'm running 1,000 test, 600 Masteron, and 400 Primo. That's what I'm on right now.
Right at 2 G's right there. Yep.
What? Yep.
2 grams. Yeah.
Last time I did a gram of Mast, a
Each.
gram of Primo, a gram of test.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was like,
It was-
that was like 4 or 5 grams, right? Yeah, it was pretty high.
it was
3.
3 grams.
3 grams.
Yeah, it's 3 grams.
And 9
Still
units
a
of
lot.
Serostem. I
Yeah.
am not running Serostem this time.
How come?
Gotcha.
Because it's fucking expensive.
Mm.
I mean, I can get the Chinese generics for $100 versus
Yeah.
700 for the same amount of
The Chinese
Serostem.
generics are getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Things are
that's
getting
because people are
expensive all around,
finally
man.
believing that they
People
work.
find them-
I mean,
right, yeah.
The
People
only
finally listen
person-
to the doctor.
the only person who I think is still anti-Chinese GH is Phil Viz. He's the only one who still thinks Serostem's the only way, but everybody else is open-minded about it, I think, at this point.
I'm
I mean,
anti-Chinese GH.
I mean, my thought process is if I can use a real pharmaceutical and I've got the money, I'm going to run a real pharmaceutical all the time. But, but
If I can run a real pharmaceutical and someone else pays for it, that's great.
I've been looking
well-
like into the Chinese peptides, and even if something tests at a high purity, like even if your growth hormone is 98%, that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have deletion sequences and other things wrong with the peptide. Like it can read at the right mass, but that doesn't necessarily mean the product is going to bind the receptor as well as it should. So depending on the brand you get, it may be more or less effective, and probably never as effective as a pharmaceutical product.
So we need to
but
do
has
like
the
40
same
units a
quality
day
control.
of Chinese GH to get a comparable.
I know it's all anecdote, man, but I swear to God, the fucking Serostem hits harder.
I believe it.
just-
That's what I'm saying. Is like they literally manufacture these peptides so that they test at the right mass. That's all they care about. They know it's going to a Janoschick test, and they manufacture the peptide so it's at the right mass, and that's what they optimize for. They don't optimize for the product being correct. Like it might have deletion sequences or misfolded proteins. The shape could be off, but it's going to test at the right mass because that's what they care about. Like they care about the purity number.
Anyway,
You
to
know, at
blood
the end of
test
the day.
yourself to make sure it's worth the shit.
Well, I mean, it's unreliable. I mean, IGF has nothing to do. I mean, unless you had a baseline, but IGF tops out, past 10. So like it doesn't really tell you much, if
Yeah,
Or the
so
GH
what-
serum test isn't worth it while anymore.
So what I did was I did 16. I think the when I did the experiment, I did it like several times. I rotated it. I did like a month of Serostem at like 18 units, and I did a month of Genotropin at 18 units, and then a month of Metatropin at 18 units. Then I did Metatropin and Serostem. Then I did Metatropin and Genotropin. Then I did Genotropin and Serostem. It didn't make a difference to the IGF-1 at all. In fact, the one outlier with the 500 IGF-1 was actually with the Metatropin. And that was, so I got more anabolic response out of the Chinese. When you look at just the numbers, as far as cosmetic changes, saw no difference between any of the brands at all.
You were still ugly.
Yes, I was still ugly.
But he grew.
Not
Yeah,
very
no, I
big.
think Chinese GH can be good. It just depends on the brand you get.
I do have
Coach
2 boxes. I do have 2 boxes of Serostem sitting in my refrigerator waiting for me, but I'll save
that
those
would
for the end.
be, let's see, you got
Are you gonna
7,
use us like right
2
at the end?
kits. That's to be 4 weeks worth if you did 9 units a day. But you could do, why not just do 4.5 of the Serostem and then cut the difference with the Meta like you
I
used to
could.
do?
Sell
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
Chinese
doing
stuff.
before.
You got 8 weeks worth at 4.5 a day.
Could
Well,
do
Paul's
that.
an every other day guy, so
You are?
No, I run it every day.
Oh, every
but-
day now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was having issues with my A1C being high when I was doing that. I was running it every other day, and then I came off of it for a while. I've been off the GLP-1 now for about 4 months. It was crazy after a year and a half of running a GLP-1. Like it permanently fucked up my gastric emptying, but it also seemed to completely fix my blood sugar. Like I wake up in the morning now with my fasted glucose is in the 70s.
Wow.
I've noticed that too, though. It for a long. Oh, I'm not supposed. You can cut that out. The R word.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Voldemort
Gonzo.
cream.
I ran it
The
for a long
triple
time,
A's.
and it like permanently gave me, like, after I came off of it, my gastric emptying sped up so much that it was like untenable, and it didn't go away for a long time.
I've got it.
Yeah.
For the one, the insulin secretagogue.
It seems to have mostly fixed my whatever I had going on. I still use a little bit of insulin here and there, but yeah, I mean, I've been like on this contest prep, I've been waking up like it was my fasting glucose this morning was a 78. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you wear a CGM?
Are you
Paul?
okay? Is that too low? Or is that
I don't have it on right now, but yeah, I'm prescribed a Libre. But they diagnosed me with, I've been seeing an endocrinologist for the last year and a half, and they prescribed me the Libre. And then I was also, I took the Retta for a while, and then she prescribed me Manjaro, and then I was on 5 milligrams of Manjaro.
And it kind of just stops working after a while too.
Yeah, well, the problem with the Manjaro, man, is it just fucked my stomach up. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
I had to, like, I couldn't eat, man, and then it was making me sick. So I dropped it about 4 months ago, but I did a solid.
Like I was using Retta sporadically in the off season because I kept forgetting. And right before the Arnold, I did a 0.5 milligram, and I couldn't go to the bathroom. I had complete gastric paralysis for like a week and a half. I think I gained like 2 inches on my waist that week permanently from how much stretching was being done by that.
They give you the diastasis?
Yeah, I never have had, I've always had a small waist. My waist got bloated and blown out while I was running it.
Yeah, your waist was one of your best features. That and giant.
That's happened to me too.
It seems to have shrunk back up, but yeah, I good, positive and negative. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it either, but I've seen a lot of people come to me for blood work reviews with just crazy, weird micronutrient deficiencies from running GLP-1s.
Problems.
You should, if they are not supplementing properly, or if they're just taking too much, maybe. You should see low iron. You should see low B1, low B12. You should see a low folate. You should probably see a low vitamin D.
Yep.
I had all those I couldn't figure out what caused those.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll live.
If you read my trend book, it's in the very back. It's the GLP section.
Wait, you wrote a trend book?
Yeah. He's got a trend book.
Where the fuck do I get this trend book?
Click on my YouTube or click on my Instagram. There's a link right to it. It's just right there.
And by the way, before I really knew Josh that well, he sent me that book, and there was so many like nuggets in there that I thought I had figured out, but he had them like in there already. Yeah, it was very impressive. He had phenarenone in there. Yeah, just really impressive stuff.
I like the social stuff I put in there, the test, the anxiety one, the PQ.
Josh is Trend's #1 fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a Trimbolone specialist. I'm going to get that title.
I was like, who is this guy?
He is the trend ace.
You're doing a show, Josh?
Yeah. Week after the Arnold, or week after the Olympia, I'll be in Dalton, Georgia, my first show, True Novice, and probably physique, just to practice physique. And I'm also playing a Luchadores character, and I'm trolling Gonzo. I'm calling him Gonzo the Small. So you'll see me dig on him like in every show, and then I'll be sending him.
You're gonna show up on stage with the mask.
Yeah, and I do crazy stupid shit in the gym just to show him how weak he is. Like I run around with the 110s, and then now I'm gonna run around with like some heavier shit. 110 pounds, not like 110 pounds. But, So I'm gonna get some small kettlebells. And I'm thinking about doing this one trick where I do uphill both ways because my driveway's hilled, so I can just drive up the hill, run up the hill, drive my car down, and then run back up the hill, and like uphill both ways, motherfucker, and just dip out.
Yeah.
He's
thinking of doing the possibly also the show that Chandler and I are thinking of doing.
I'll be there.
The one in Huntsville.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there
on October. So
I'm gonna be a fun character, not a mean character. I'm not gonna like throw snakes at it.
Yeah, that'll be a fun time. Yeah,
well,
that's gonna be a good show, I think. Emmanuel Hunter is the hosting it, and this is his big thing. He's kind of like a big deal in the men's physique world and even locally. So yeah, it should be a really good time. Should be a good show.
Am I allowed to wear the mask at one of these shows or no?
I have no idea. You're gonna have to talk to
On
them.
stage,
Yeah.
if you're a guest poser, you can, but not if it's your competition.
Can I
Yeah.
pretend to be a guest poser?
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to the organizers, Josh, if you want to bend reality that way.
I mean, I'd like to have fun too.
yeah, but
Go ahead.
yeah, talk to them.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
what's the name of the show actually?
it's the Hunter Classic.
Hunter Classic in
That's what
Huntsville,
it's
Alabama.
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama, October 24th, I believe. So, somewhat 13 weeks out. Paul's about to yank all the carbs out of my life.
Welcome to Protein Sharing Modified Fast Week.
Yeah, here it
hopefully
comes.
not.
Well, Gonzo's good.
Yeah.
Pretty. He's very small, but he looks good.
I know, I'm pretty. It's okay.
Gonzo's huge.
Yeah.
Man,
Gonzo
you blew
is
up.
not huge.
You
Gonzo's-
definitely blew up.
Gonzo looks
Gonzo-
huge
Gonzo
and
looks
he's
good.
next to Todd. And then when you see me next to Todd, you're like, nah, Gonzo's not huge, bro.
Well, that's just his
Gonzo's
physique
men's
is work.
physique.
Well, you put on like
Todd is
40
like
pounds of
flat.
muscle in like 10 minutes or something, right?
He didn't his first.
I don't know.
This is your first like
It was
blow up,
weird,
right?
though. It was
His
weird.
first
like,
post contest has gone really well. Like Paul can hang his hat on that. Like, hey, I know how to make older guys big as fuck for some reason.
for sure. For sure. I mean, all I did was follow Paul's instructions, man.
Well,
That's it.
Josh, if you need any help with anything, let me know. I mean, you got a whole panel here.
I was gonna say,
Maybe
yeah,
people
but
that can
my
help.
whole thing is like I'm treating this like a nurse, like a test. It's like I've been listening to you assholes for years. Love you guys, and it's
Let's go
like
out there and have fun, man.
you know, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like the first show I'm gonna look like crap anyway, and then the second show's gonna be fun. So it's like, hey, that will officially make me a bodybuilder by Dr. Todd standards.
Yes. Yes.
And I did want
Are you-
to bring up Dr. Todd did say many years ago that these insulin secretagogues would help your particular diabetes.
I did say
Yeah.
that.
You did.
You did.
Oh.
Yeah. So go figure. But yeah, Josh, wait until you get on stage for the first time. I never thought I'd enjoy it. I was actually terrified until the lights came on and I walked out, and then it's so much fun. It's I can't explain it. It's like 30 seconds of just fun, just all of it, you know.
It's like you're alive and in color for the
Yes.
only time all year. You get like 4 minutes of pure exhilaration where you don't feel like posing's hard, because normally posing's the hardest thing in the world. But when you're on stage, that it's the posing is not hard.
Yeah. It's almost like you prepared so hard and trained so long that 4 minutes is just your expression of all of that.
Oh,
in
you know,
there.
For my
Oh, no,
first show,
I don't
no
know, man.
oral,
I
no
see
climb.
some dudes up there that are sweating bullets, man.
But they don't prepare.
I'll
Do
be
you remember
honest.
the end of Final Fantasy VII, the final fight between Cloud and Sephiroth, where it's just it's a black background and
I
one
never
limit
played that
break?
one.
It's
Yeah, I
just
didn't play that
one
one.
black background and a limit break, and it's over. That's like what it's like when you prepare for something sufficiently that when you just go in to do it, you only roll 20s. Like you just knock it the fuck out. If you go up there with shredded glutes, you're so confident and so proud of yourself. It is the easiest thing in the world to transmit that to the audience. Then they reflect it back at you. The judges are part of the audience. All
Mhm.
eyes are on you. The
all
glutes
about
don't
your ass.
matter, but the confidence the glutes give you is what makes all eyes on you. When Paul won his pro card, his glutes were so fucking shredded. He looked like he was in high def and everyone else was in 480p or whatever.
Were you at that show?
No, but I was paying attention to those pictures quite vividly.
That was the easiest contest prep I've ever done too. That's the weird thing. Like I didn't even.
You gained weight.
I barely did any cardio.
That's so not fair though, because you dieted your ass off for the USA, and then
Yep.
you just had to coast into the Masters Nationals in July because you were already shredded and you never got fat. You just took a health phase, and then when you put the gear back in, it did all. I don't want to say did the work for you, but it was timed perfect to make
Yeah,
it so
was just
easy.
a perfect set of circumstances. Yeah, I
I
had a short.
remember, Paul, I remember when you won your pro card, I was watching Anabolic Bodybuilding and I looked over to my girl and I was like, Paul won. And she was like, who the hell is Paul? So that's how much of a fanboy I was.
That's still a surreal experience, man.
Yeah.
I love.
I don't know. I knew when I got when I did prejudging, and I did my individual, and Tyler looked up at me and gave me the thumbs up when I got off stage.
Oh, that's it.
I'm like, all right, I think I'm
You were
good.
like that. That's what I want to see.
I was so fucking sick on show day. Oh my God, I was so fucking sick.
What was it? Was
like
it?
nerve sick?
It was the diazide. It was the diazide, right?
I think it was the diazide.
You
man.
used diazide the year before it gave you diarrhea. You gave diazide this year, and you you dried out so much your glutes came in.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was shitting my pants out. I didn't eat anything on the.
You figured it out.
Diarrhea is the secret to your success.
What was it?
So this is why he's using aldactylon, not diazide anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
You became a pro on it, baby. It was your key. It was your golden
What was it?
ticket.
Chad Nichols used to give he would give
Brown.
him pizza, and then he would give him that mercurial diuretic. What's the name of that fucking one that makes you shit your pants?
Lactulose.
The name of it.
So you give them pizza, so the fat
Sodium
would probably trigger that
Sodium.
too, right?
Lactose.
No, you'll shit the fat out because that digests slow, but the sodium gets absorbed right away.
Lactulose, Miralac, and Dr. Say sodium is.
He also had people do vodka with it too. It wasn't just pizza; it was pizza and vodka.
Pizza
So it's like
vodka?
Mircap Tourmarin or something, the sodium one. I think.
I'll find
It's
the
Dr.
one.
Say sodium, but that's just a softener. Biscoidal is a really good one, but it's not very instant. If you like your instant stuff, your lactulose at 30, that's going to blast anyone's ass.
Oof. That doesn't sound like fun.
Here's an article: Chad Nichols killing clients with mercurial diuretics. Oh my God.
Okay, the reason why they used that though was because that year they were doing diuretic testing, and there was a list of diuretics on there that you can't use, and they're testing for. But then there were diuretics that weren't on the list, so you just use those with plasma expanders, and he used pie filling, and everyone started using pie filling, but they didn't understand the reason why he was using pie filling was back then it was the only shit that had a high cluster dextrin, whatever it's called. It was no industry to make the cluster dextrins, but the cluster dextrin was in this specific brand of pie filling. And so he's having people load on cluster dextrins, and everybody's a copycat, so they're all trying to load on pie filling, but they were getting different brands.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, was he actually using plasma expanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that article I just found had that in there. This is from Professional Muscle. It's an old post from like 2012.
We just dropped a bug in Sean's ear.
I'm just listening to all these weird things that we do as bodybuilders right here, like like the infamous burger and fries.
No, that's normal. No, the infamous one is the collecting breast milk from women. That was hilarious. I haven't forgotten that one.
What the
colostrum jackasses?
Colostrum, dude.
Breast milk from women because of the colostrum.
Is it for the colostrum?
Yeah,
Is that the idea?
Which your body destroys as soon as you have a freaking system. As soon as you have acid in your system.
I've gotten more conservative with peaking people. I just I don't know. I don't do any home run swings, man.
If you look good on Tuesday, just do what you did on Tuesday every day that week until it's Saturday.
I was gonna say, I'm doing no orals, no clean. We'll see how bad it goes.
I'm starting to debate whether or not I even want to do water manipulation with people anymore. I had some people I did.
It's too hard. How did your guys do on this weekend? Karina
how'd that go?
I had
please talk.
3 second place finishes.
Hell yeah.
So almost.
No, that's awesome.
And two third place finishes, a fifth, and then a ninth. So
was Mike ninth?
Mike got ninth.
In heavyweight though.
Yeah, Mike just wanted to make top 20. That was his goal. And Mike made top 20.
So he got
or top 10, sorry.
Good.
Top 10.
Yeah,
Mike was
Mike
Horner.
Okay, so he looked familiar in the podcast I watched with Sean and Dave. Where do I know him from?
He comes on my podcast.
On Anabolic Bodybuilding Live.
Yeah.
So
and I've been training Mike for years.
And he's got his own podcast series.
Yeah.
Is he back, by the way, on YouTube?
Yeah,
I haven't seen him yet.
Got nuked.
I think he's
still
banned. Is he Chase Iron?
He's banned.
Oh shit! Yeah, I asked him.
Shit.
Well,
I feel
I
like I've
already
met him
reached
in
out.
person.
Like I'd do anything he needs to, put some more stuff up.
Yeah,
I have the
it's
old video we did.
Anybody
that freaks me out, man. That freaks me out a lot.
Well, what gets you banned is having links to anything that starts with pep and ins and ides.
Yeah.
You do that and you're
I
fucked.
saw that pattern because I was the only dude who didn't push that stuff.
I didn't either.
And you and me haven't been banned on Instagram, and everyone else has.
Yep.
And there
Yeah,
were
I'm
people
never
that were
gonna,
so
I'm never gonna
innocuous.
have a, I'm never gonna have a
Like-
discount code for
Like
for eyes.
Zach
Yeah.
Smith got fried. Like, how did Zach Smith get fried? Like, there's so many people that were completely innocent and they got fried. And I think it has to be because they use
It's
the
because they were,
yeah.
yeah,
It's those compounds. that
the
all
ides.
referenced. Yeah, which is funny because lately I've been getting at least 1 or 2 a week from different companies that I've never heard of. Do you want to partner up and do this? And
Nope.
I'm like, nope.
No.
They
Nope.
bother me
Zero.
constantly.
I've had
Zero.
people offer me 50% of their gross to then use the discount code on my channel. I'm like, I will not associate myself with any gray market companies in
Yeah.
a white market space.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, forget the ethical gray area
Well, you can't be
stuff.
the one like giving the information, but then on the back end be, making
Selling
money
it.
off of selling though.
Right.
That doesn't
Yeah,
make any
'cause then it's-
sense.
It's
That's like if
makes
I
you
was
incredible.
a doctor and well, sometimes they actually do, but if I was a doctor and I got to get kickback on every statin I prescribe, that's
Yeah.
not right,
Wasn't that pretty much how it
that's kinda
works?
standard.
That's how it worked for
Yeah.
like ever.
At least it
Yeah,
was.
That's
exactly.
why.
Yeah.
That's how it always
Jeez.
worked. That's why if you had a psychiatrist, you were treated with the drug they treat with. It had nothing to do with your diagnosis. It would just be you'd be diagnosed with whatever would make it plausible for them to use their particular SSRI that they have a deal with.
And
So
that's
they
not
can get their
corrupt at all.
Bermuda vacation.
Well, your big corruption is the trips you get to take to learn about the medicine.
Oh yeah,
or
and
the,
the
all the
yacht.
lunches, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All the lunches and golf trips and golf games.
No,
where we
it's always to a
discuss the
Caribbean
drug,
awesome place.
over
always
18
arranged.
holes and drinks.
I came in
You know?
after all that. All that shit was illegal before I got there. I was like, what? I came for the corruption. What do I get? I get carry out Caesar
I came
salad.
for the
Fuck this shit.
kickbacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
Yeah.
like at the Emory in my town. They actually closed the doctor's lounge and made the doctors buy their own food now. I'm like, well, they're not gonna stay, and they did.
I love it. I love it too. The building I used to work in was full of medical offices. We were like the only thing that was non-medical, and I'd see the pharmaceutical reps walking in all the time, and they were all like 28-year-old dime pieces, man,
Yep.
in their high heels, walking in,
Well,
carrying
never
bags of Panera with them.
I collect pharmaceutical swag. That's one of my hobbies. So I have like,
Pharmaceutical swag.
I have like a Xanax clock that has like a sleepy woman on it.
That does sound
Yeah.
awesome, actually. Okay.
Yeah. There's so much cool stuff. I've got.
To be a woman in a
You
med
need,
shot.
you, need to put that on your YouTube channel. Share like weird shit that you have like that. That's
I've got a
cool.
Torvastatin pens, a bunch of them. I write with
That's
those.
hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Yikes.
How
I
many
like that.
people can say that?
We are
It's like I go on
spicy.
eBay like literally every day, and I'm looking up. That's like my model trains. That's my version of model trains.
That's hilarious.
You're a pharmaceutical junkie.
That's your tiny castle, like on game, like a House of Dragon.
Yeah.
Where you at? What
Yeah. Oh,
episode?
by the way, have you started watching that, Sean?
No, I haven't started. I've been editing like all day, every single day, like 10
Oh,
hours.
Man,
The
it's
first
been good.
season,
It's been fun.
first season was great. I heard the third season has been off the chain.
It is.
It's been good so
The
far.
first
So
two
what do you
Season
think,
2
Todd?
is a build-up for the war, and the
Yeah.
fucking third season is just straight bangers from the first episode. It's just total chaos. It's so good. I think the last episode was a little slow, but they resolved a lot of shit that episode.
Yeah,
It was a
that
whole
was a good
lot of Damon.
storytelling episode. That
They
was a
brought
move that
Damon
straight
back.
forward.
They brought the old Damon back. Like Damon
Yeah,
is like he's not all fruity and shit like he was in the second season. He's old Damon again.
I think in the second season he was
Hey.
kind of forced to be
Hey,
super nice to help Rhaenyra,
Well,
and now it's like, well, now you're the queen. I'm good to go now. You
That's
know?
not what I meant. I just meant that they wasted way too much screen time on him
You
just
think?
wandering around Harrenhal having hallucinations,
Sean, your mom.
making him look weak. It could have been
Close
one
my ears.
episode. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think you remember any of this stuff because you
and
don't
it
know the
won't-
terms.
It won't
Yeah.
You don't
spoil
know who
it.
Damon
Sean,
is. You
you'll
don't know
be
what
fine.
Harrenhal is. It's just gibberish to you
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
You
It'll
got to
be-
watch the
it'll be
show
good.
with the subtitles. Otherwise, you won't be able to tell who's who. Because
Okay.
everyone's got the name Aegon. So,
I got it
like,
loaded
you
up,
got-
Todd. I want you to know I have it loaded up, ready to go. As soon as I get this video out, I'm gonna like binge watch it.
Yeah, I need
His
that.
next
You're gonna
video is
have
going to be
fun.
House of the Dragons.
That's
I never
my
watched
treat.
season
Is I get
2.
to watch. Yeah, I get to watch House of the Dragons after I finish.
Hey, have any of you watched The Odyssey yet, or any
Saw it
interest in
last
watching
night.
it?
Oh, was it
How
good?
was
Did
it?
you? How was it?
I thought it was fucking excellent, but
Really? Good.
it was an assault on the senses.
It's getting
I-
trashed
went
by
to
Hang
everyone.
on, hang on. Did you see it like IMAX with 3D or giant screen and all that shit, or no?
No, I'm going to go see it in the IMAX next week. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
know why people are trashing it. I don't know. The Ellen Page was a little weird in there, but whatever, man. I'm like, get over it.
You dead named her. You just dead named Helen Page. You got to cut
Whatever.
that out,
The next
Gonzo. They're
deleted
gonna come
episode
for
is
him.
this one. Ha.
It's like,
You
Ellen
dead named
Page,
him.
whatever the fucking name is. But
Todd.
literally, she's in the,
That's a twofer.
they are in the show for 5 minutes. I mean, like, it's
they.
So it's entertaining. Ultimately, it is entertaining.
literally. But I don't know that this is a spoiler, but she's in the is in the first 5 minutes of the show and gets a spear thrown through them at the very beginning. That's
Okay.
it.
But that sounds like
I love
everything I
that.
want to see. That's
You're
hilarious.
talking
People
about her
can
like
think
she's
about that.
non-binary when she's trans. It's
I
like
don't know
I
what
had to
the right
learn this
label is.
shit.
He?
So
No?
I love that the roles
He-
are reversed now, and I'm the woke one. Like how did that happen?
I don't know what the
Todd's
right
aware of the rules.
I'll be the
Oh,
woke
I know
administrator.
all the rules now. I
All right.
know everything.
Todd, how did
I-
you figure out all these rules?
I spent a
He's
lot of
paying
time
attention.
watching Gen Z focused female podcasters.
What?
I spent hours a day watching
Wait.
young girls
How old is your
talk about their
girlfriend?
lives, and then I just stare at the wall and I rehearse talking to them so that I don't come across as weird.
Wait,
And that's
why
what
do
I
you do
for 8
that?
hours a day?
Why do you do that?
So-
Self-defense. It's
Because I
self-defense.
don't want to be single forever. That's how I got a 24-year-old girlfriend. Is that I practice understanding the Gen Z female mind. So now I'm like at one with my heart and at one with the emotions of all mankind.
Holy shit. This
He's
is like an
tapped
evolution
into it,
of
guys.
Dr. Todd.
I
It's
thought
an energy.
I thought the movie was great.
Okay.
Wait, we got to go back to Todd. This is insane.
So I suggest Brett Cooper is like a right-wing Gen Z podcaster. That's a good source of news, but it also shows you a lot of Gen Z type topics and issues that are like, and then there's a few other female podcasters I watch. So like
So is
actually
the-
understand.
Is the method to like you get him in with the wokeness and then you kind of slowly like nudge him over to the other side, or like what are we staying over
No.
on the
Just making myself more compatible with all humans. So understanding everyone's point of view so that I can fit within their paradigm of reality. Kind of
So
like
you
how I
can
talked
interact
about
like
the,
Todd Lee.
Pause. Did Dr. Todd just fucking grow up on the show?
so like rather than like that trying to force all of the plebeians to believe what you want so you can force reality or will, is understand what the plebeians want and just give it to them.
Brad
You're
Sanders.
surfing the
nice
wave. You're surfing the wave of society is what you're doing. You're learning to ride the wave and survive on it and thrive.
Hang on.
I get it.
24 years old?
She's 24.
All right. I'm going to need that list of podcasts.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Hope
she
you've
doesn't
got
see this.
Y'all
you
seen
still
the
have
messages I
stamina
get?
for that.
Oh, what's up?
Huh?
Y'all seen the messages I get?
Todd? My
I
girl is older than yours.
Yeah. Everyone's
Wow.
girlfriend's older than mine. It's cool. It's like
Does she know
I feel
this?
bad. I feel bad because my wife is 7 years younger than I am, but all of a sudden I don't feel bad about that at all.
yeah, I was
Not at all.
23 when she was born.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, do we give him an air 5, an air fist? I mean, what do we say?
It's like,
I used to. This is hilarious. I got a funny one for you. I used to, God rest his soul, the jujitsu studio that I used to practice at or go to class at. Robert Duvall came there. He came there frequently, and him and his wife, they both came there. And she mostly did jujitsu, but he was funny as shit. His wife was like 40 years younger than him. She was like half his age. And I remember he was a very soft spoken guy, like, but he was funny, like very, very kind guy. And I remember him, somebody saying something to him about his young wife, and he very seriously looks at the group of us and he goes, "You know what the worst thing for an old man is?" And everybody just kind of got quiet, and he goes, "An old woman."
That's fair.
oh,
That is fair.
That's really,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Robert Duvall was great, man. That dude was great.
Super nice guy, man. I got to
That's
I
cool.
would, got to interact with him several times.
You
Nice.
guys will think this is funny. When she first saw my CPAP, she's like, "Is that a CPAP?" My grandmother got one of those. And I was like, yeah.
And you're like, I got it because I'm jacked.
How old is your grandmother?
I just took it. I'm like, okay, that was a really good dig. I was like,
My grandmother's got one of those.
No, the grandmother's younger than you.
man.
That's what the trick is, right?
I'm
older than
gonna
her
get one of
parents.
those, by the way, Todd. I keep saying it, but at some point I'm gonna have to like just pull the trigger and get one of those and see how I sleep.
24-year-old?
No.
Well, improve your sleep.
Hey, forget getting demonetized. This goes live. Anything that vaguely implies that I am married to a real redhead, bro. You will not hear from. You will not
You got to
see
be
me.
careful.
You don't pass
Yeah.
up Latins for redheads without a sense of danger, though.
Yeah. No, like you'll meet my wife if you go to the show,
see what
and
I'll
it
be
will
there.
all make sense, Josh. When you meet her,
Yeah,
it will all make sense.
I believe you.
You'll
No,
be
you told
like,
me about
oh,
Yeah, me and Gonzo spent a lot of time at the Arnold, so we got to talk about our families and stuff. I'm obviously didn't have
Yeah.
much to share, so I basically listened about his family all the time, which is great. He actually walked right by one of his favorite guys. The what's that tall guy that won the Arnold this year?
Wesley. I
Wesley.
walked by Wesley.
He
didn't
was so
realize it.
psyched up that the big guy that Paul loves sent him a Instagram response that he like walked right by Wesley and the other guy who didn't make height. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I like, don't
Mike
you like aren't you
Summerfeld.
physique? I
Yeah,
was like, why
Mike
don't you
Summerfeld
guys?
and Wesley both
I'm like
walked
pointing
by
at
me.
He's
I
not
didn't
even
even
looking at me. I'm
realize
like,
it.
what do you do?
They were like
1 and
2
2 in the
away.
world
Like,
walk past you.
No, he walked past them. They're literally standing at the gym right here, and he walks right to them,
Zip.
walk in front of them, walk
like-
by him.
Didn't even realize it.
I
Bro.
mean, dude was intent on getting his shoulders worked on, I guess.
yeah,
We were doing arms.
I did
be
need to
fair.
get my workout on.
We were doing arms.
Yeah. Next year, though, I think she'll be with me for the Arnold.
That's cool.
I think that's the plan.
American
because-
Barbell's a good one to go to. And then there's one
Yeah.
in Marksboro that's really good, I think.
I like that pros gym, bro. That was good.
Pros was fun.
That's where
but-
where I also chatted with Lee Priest for like 20 minutes because he's like the friendliest guy ever.
So I've
So
done a couple podcasts with him. He's fun.
he's super nice too. Like he's actually really funny and really kind
No, he's very down
and really
there.
inappropriate, but it all works.
Yeah.
Gonzo, you got to get him
Is-
on. I feel like it'd be a good dynamic.
I can't get him on. Paul can get him on. I
could
would
probably
love
get
to
him
have
on.
him on. Yeah,
Try
I
to
mean,
get him on. I'd like
Yeah,
to talk to
that's
Lee.
Paul.
He's my favorite
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
he
I've
needs,
never
like,
even
he needs-
tried.
Yeah. No, you need him for late nights. He's late nights. He's golden for you because he's Australia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd
that's
have
right.
you have to do it late to get Lee on.
What's
I
funny
would
is
go
I'm
late
more
for Lee
popular
Priest.
in Australia than I am in the United States.
I think everybody would go late for Lee Priest. He's awesome.
Lee
Yeah,
is
so
funny.
Lee, if you ever happen to run across this episode, we would love to talk to you and hang out with you, bro, and talk some crazy shit.
Yeah, doing AB live late night with Lee Priest. That'd be sweet. Watch that.
Yeah, and let him be like uncensored. Let Lee just be Lee. Just
Well,
let him.
I don't think there
say
is
his thing.
any censoring of Lee. Lee just says what Lee's going to say.
Well, it's
Yeah,
going to be a
Lee's-
problem with like Todd's newfound wokeness here. We got to be careful.
I think it'll be okay.
Hold on. Me being woke.
I'm just messing with
compatible
you. I'm
does-
just messing with you.
Okay.
Todd. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
Man, a lot's changed since the last time I talked to Todd.
Well, I put myself into like a timeout for 6 months and rewrote my personality. And then I like started going out in public and talking to people without headphones on. It's like,
Mhm.
let's try to fight my autism and take my
Braver
headphones
than
off.
me,
And I,
that's for sure.
and I went out without headphones on and talked to strangers and shit. And I got over my approach anxiety because I didn't used to have it, but I did after not like doing anything for several years. So then I was like, all right, I got to start getting used to this. And it just worked one day. And I was like, all right, cool. And I didn't even have to date multiple girls. I just dated the same one for like a couple weeks. And then we were boyfriend and girlfriend. It was really convenient. It went
Yeah.
super smooth. She's super easygoing. I've never had someone that was this easy to get along with in my
She doesn't
life.
like increase the
Nice,
stress
That's
of your life.
awesome. No, she doesn't increase stress at all.
That's
It's
perfect.
so weird.
That's
Did she
awesome.
cook?
She does, but not for me. I usually cook for her.
That's fine. Well, I mean, you're always
Hey,
cooking
that-
anyway. I just wondered if she helped out. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm happy for you, man. That's
she
good.
came over and she did meal prep for herself, but it's we
she's-
have
oh.
diff.
Go ahead.
She's a
She
lifter too, Todd?
Yeah, I met her at the
Wow.
gym, and so
Awesome.
Nice.
I didn't have
Okay.
to do shit. She came fresh out. She's like right out of the box, ready to go. It's not like I have to rebuild this one or something like that.
No modding necessary.
He was
No, it
already
was-
like in,
It's
he's
not
already in
like
the
you
life.
had. No, it's not like a Fiero and you buy the Ferrari kit. It's like you get the Ferrari with low mileage and you don't
Yeah.
even have to do anything. It's just I don't know how the fuck this happened. I just
Yeah.
was polite.
Have
And I
you
told her
seen
after that,
yourself
like,
in a
hey,
mirror?
I said like, well, yeah, I know I'm not pretty, but I'm supposed to be funny. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I just have a confession to make. I really struggle with emotional intelligence. So if I say things that are insensitive, it's not because I don't want to be nice. It's just that I have like undiagnosed autism, maybe, or maybe I'm a psychopath. I don't know what the thing is, but I'm really working on being a nice guy.
You're an
So if
apologetic
I'm ever
psycho.
not nice, let me know. So
Yeah. That probably worked really well because it's a super honest,
I'm gonna write
showing
that
your
down.
true self kind of move, man. That,
Mhm.
That's nice.
That's
So
good.
what
That's
it
good.
was is FaceTiming. FaceTiming makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You know how like texting turns into fights and phone
Yeah,
calls
because
are
you don't have any
can be
context, right.
confrontational? FaceTiming
Yeah.
goes way better.
I believe
Oh
that.
man, I didn't plan on being on here for an hour and a half, but Todd's making me laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like that's the thing. Like it never was supposed to be, and then we just this is hilarious.
I'm just here for Todd.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
Thanks,
well,
man.
this,
I'm just-
this is what we do, and you're welcome every time, whenever you want to.
We
This
do
is just
part-
like our weird decompression, nerd out, geek out on a topic, talk whatever. You
So
know?
about the Odyssey.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, we've never seen it, but I know the story. You know?
I think you
Well, I
guys know
heard
what
that
happens.
the Agamemnon has like a Batman style helmet or something,
Mhm.
which is so weird. I'm
He
gonna
was-
have to.
He was
I'm gonna
he
have
was
to
been
download it.
badass.
I've been
Badass
watching the
thing.
Metatron. Metatron's been building up to hating this thing for months. It's crazy. Metatron's waging a war on Christopher Nolan right now.
But
I've never seen
anti-historical
Metatron this
completely?
pissed off before.
Huh.
And Metatron's actually working with Brett and all these other podcasters just to flame the Odyssey. I'm like, why are you guys trying so hard to shit on this movie? If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's like crazy. The Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Brett Cooper, Metatron.
Yeah, all those guys,
everyone's attacking this movie. It's like crazy.
Is it just like too woke or something? Or
That's what their
So
complaints
there's
are.
been
is-
a couple of controversial creative decisions.
I would like to hear their
Allegedly.
complaints because I do listen to their shows, but I'll listen to their shit.
all right,
But-
so like Metatron is the historian.
so
Like,
he's got a
people
good.
who don't know about Metatron, he's an Italian who speaks like 30 languages. So he translated the Bible and other historical documents from their original text. But because he knows so many languages, his is actually a credible interpretation. And so that's how that's called the Metatron, the voice of God. But then he got into medieval history and samurai and all this stuff. He knows more about fucking armor and weapons and history and language than anyone I've ever seen. So even though he's not a theologian, he's so good at language and he's so fucking smart. His shit just rocks. And then because
His
like, for
channel's great.
instance,
He
when
what?
Cleopatra, right? She's from the Ptolemaic dynasty. So she's of
Right,
Greek
she's
ancestry.
Greek descent.
But in the
mean
movie,
she wasn't
they
black?
made her. In the movie, they made her black. He got upset about it. So then people said he's racist. It's like, I'm not racist. I just don't agree that she's black. She's a Ptolemite. She should be Greek. And then, so this turned into a thing. So the Metatron's channel has changed so much over the years that it's just everybody gets sucked into these fights. It's so
Damn.
weird.
I mean, I get the whole point of like that it's not 100% quote unquote faithful to the original thing, but he's an
Yeah.
artist. He's gonna do it his way, I guess. You make creative decisions,
Even
Okay,
the
so
Metatron had to swallow his pride. And he's like, honestly, if I wasn't me, I'd give this movie a solid 6. This is a good movie. It was like, after seeing it, it was a 2-hour documentary about everything wrong with the movie. And at the end of the documentary, he's like, honestly,
goes with that.
I have to say it's like a 6. It was not a bad movie.
I thought the movie was fantastic. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
All right.
Did you guys ever
any
see
recommended enhancements to watch a movie?
Do you guys ever see Apocalypto, which is like
Yeah,
the
a long
completely
time ago.
opposite approach,
I
right?
had it on
Like,
Blu-ray.
yeah, because Apocalypto is like let me be as faithful as I possibly can to the source material, which is one way of doing it. And I think a lot of people had thought that the Odyssey had to be approached that way, and
It
that's
should have
not
been.
the Nolan approach.
No.
Not at all.
But they didn't have to have British
Troy
people
was
speak with
awesome.
American accents. That's kind of
Yeah.
silly. Like,
Yeah.
why is everyone? Why do we have a rapper rapping in the Odyssey? Like, what, that's the type of thing that people are pissed about.
Why does
Wait,
there
there was a
rapping?
rapper in the
Yeah.
Odyssey?
Yes. Yeah.
Who was
Travis
it? Was it like
Scott is
Comment
in
or something? Who did they get in there?
Travis Scott. is
I
in
didn't see
there.
the movie, but Paul did. Paul, how
I don't
big of
remember
a deal was
anybody
Travis?
rapping in it.
Really,
Well,
Travis
he's
Scott.
the,
They say he
he's
was
the
in the
bard.
beginning.
He's the bard, Paul. That's
Oh, he's the
Travis
bard.
Scott. Yeah, the bard.
All right.
So
Yeah.
So we have
I
one
don't
You guys
know.
more
ever
I
watched
watch
the Witcher?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
That was like my favorite character was the bard. That was
he was fun.
Dandelion?
funny.
The Witcher
Dandelion.
makes me angry because I was a big fan of the books and the games.
that could have
and
been a
they
good show.
fucked the TV show up so bad.
The
When
first
did
So
you
it
go
two
with the
seasons
shark?
were good.
The
I
second
think.
season or the third
Yeah.
season?
Season 1 was solid, and then
No,
it
it
went
wasn't.
crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got really bad after a while.
Because they made it
Yeah,
about
I don't
that
know.
girl Siri and not about Gerard. It's like the name of the show is The Witcher, not the girl.
The story is supposed to be about Siri, but they made it all about his girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean the books
instead of him.
do focus on Siri.
Yeah,
but
she's the most
it's-
important thing in the universe.
but-
Okay.
Because she can
But-
she can bring the reckoning or whatever.
They
it's
didn't
called.
really follow the books. The books are great. Like, just follow the fucking books.
I'm gonna have to read those. I haven't read those.
No,
I
just
just-
read Elric of Melbourne or Melbourne.
Elric Nibone,
That's the one that's
one of my
reading.
favorites.
I
When
think
does
the
that game
reason
come out?
why
It's going to be out soon.
What,
Right.
The Witcher?
Yeah,
Okay.
Witcher 4?
yeah.
Well,
Is there
that-
another one?
No, there's an They're actually making an expansion to The Witcher 3. It comes out, I think, next week or
Oh.
a couple weeks
Oh.
from now.
They had some really good ones. I love the God character they brought out.
I'm gonna
Well,
have to play that.
Because he was in the
I think
first-
the reason why they can't do the material close to the source, I don't think any of the authors or the writers actually read the source material. That they're
Oh.
not smart enough to get through a whole series of books.
Oh, Yeah.
They have
There's
a
no way they
summary
could've.
written by someone, and then they do that. They don't really read the books. They're not fans.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had the
and
perfect
that's one
Witcher
thing.
too. Oh, they had the perfect Witcher.
if you're just taking a property to make a show and you're not a fan of the show, it'll show. It'll show.
There's
And
no
then-
passion.
I don't even
And
care
then
if it's
add
like the
to it,
original
like if you have
property,
an
if it's
agenda
good.
that you're trying to force in there, or the message, and then it'll screw up. It'll be screwed up. So anyway. All right,
right,
dude,
guys.
I'm gonna have to land this plane. Sadly, I have to. I am an employed person, employed by other people. I don't own my own company yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I work too.
Guys.
Gonzo coaching
Um,
coming soon.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I hope so. That would be great. That would be so great. That would be so fucking great. So let's see. But
I
I'm
think what
working
you should
on that
do is
hard.
do commission Warhammer paintings because I'd hire you to paint my Warhammer
That'd be more
miniatures.
fun. You'd enjoy
If I
that.
could make money doing that, I would, because that's fun. That actually is fun. That actually is super fun. Super. But unfortunately, I haven't figured it out yet. So not in volume, because you got to do it by, one by one. All right, guys. So again, thanks for sharing some time and hanging out, and we'll do it again next week. So everybody, with that, thank you for joining us. Click, like, subscribe, do all the things. Help me be unemployed.
Hire Gonzo.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good night.